Hi, I'm Meredith Miller coming to you from Portland, Oregon on this lovely spring day. Today is April 26th, and that means that about 9 days ago, on the 17th, Mars turned retrograde. And the reason I want to talk about this, I'm not an astrologer, I do know a little bit about what's going on. I want to talk about this because I'm already getting messages letting me know that this is really affecting people in a powerful way. And I want to give you a heads up so you can utilize this energy to your advantage. People sometimes get really nervous when planets go retrograde, like Mercury especially, but you can actually use this time to your advantage. So what happened is that Mars moved retrograde on the 17th. It's going to be doing that for 10 weeks. So not until the 29th of June, the very end of June, does Mars move direct again, which means between now and at least the beginning of July, the Mars energy is going to be feeling really different. Mars is like action, willpower, aggression, anger, frustration, action, right? So right now is a very difficult time to take major action forward, like launching major projects forward in your life. And so what it is a good time to do is to reflect, to reevaluate, to look at your plans, to look at your willpower, to look at how you're investing your energy. And if you notice during the last week or so that suddenly maybe your energy feels a little deflated, or maybe you feel like you're getting more and more frustrated, like emotionally frustrated or something, or maybe you even feel anger, or all of a sudden like things that you thought you dealt with from the past are suddenly coming up, like maybe you're having flashbacks of things that people did that really pissed you off or that made you angry, or in this case you guys might be having a lot of flashbacks of the abuse and like feeling the energy and the emotion of anger behind that. And this is a perfect time to go back to that in your mind and in your heart, revisit that and resolve that so that you can move forward with a different kind of willpower, with a different kind of energy. If you're feeling incredibly frustrated right now with a person, a situation, some kind of project you're doing, something, you really want to take a look at that. That kind of frustration means something's not right. Either you're trying to effort and push something that's not meant to be or not meant to be right now, or something in that situation is not healthy. It might be like right now I'm getting a lot of messages from people saying that their exes are hoovering big time right now. And from what I understand, that's typically very characteristic of a Venus retrograde period, where past lovers and past karmic soulmate sort of things come back up for review, and these people contact you out of the blue. But what I'm seeing happen right now is a lot of past exes are coming up to people, they're hoovering. I'm seeing this in my own life with exes, with toxic friends that I've cut out. And so I want to put this message out to you because you're probably experiencing that. If you haven't already experienced it during the last week, it's probably going to come up over the next 9 or so weeks as Mars is still in retrograde motion. And so this is a really good time to reevaluate the frustrations and the anger that you have from the past, right? So if you're feeling that kind of energetic frustration that something's not working, you really want to look at that in a different way, and you really want to notice how that's affecting you and how you are valuing your energy, because Mars is like this get up and go energy. It's like initiation and drive, it's fire, it's also the mind, the ego mind. And so if you're feeling right now that what you're driving for is not working, then you need to reevaluate that. If you feel like this relationship that you're in, or this new person that you met, things are getting frustrating and it's difficult, you need to take another look at that. Is it just a physical connection, or is it lacking some kind of emotional connection, some deeper intimacy that you feel is missing? Is that person's attention somewhere else? And you really want to look at right now where you're focusing your energy, because where you dedicate your energy, how you spend your time, says a lot to yourself about your value. It also tells other people how you value yourself. So if you are spending a lot of time on a toxic person, on a toxic relationship, on a project that's just not meant to be right now, then you're essentially showing yourself that you don't value your time. And that person or the people involved in that situation are also probably realizing that you don't value your time, so they're going to go ahead and abuse you a little more. That's why you want to be really careful right now with the hoovering that's coming in, because you know how hoovering works is they're going to trigger those things inside you, right? They're going to hit you right on those points. They know what you need, what you want to hear, and they're going to try to do this, right, to swing you back over there. So you need to be extra vigilant of your energy and how you're spending your time, who you're spending it with. And I don't just mean the time that you're spending in physical proximity with another person or on a situation or a project. Like, think about how much mental energy you're investing in people and how much time you're spending thinking about people, thinking about situations, whether they're present situations or past situations. And if you're thinking and obsessing a lot about that, that's a sign something's not right. So you want to take advantage of this Mars in retrograde time to reevaluate that, to look at where you're spending your energy, to look at where you're spending your time, to look at your willpower, how you feel about things, to look at the frustrations that you have, because it's there for a reason. It's not like that frustration is just in the way of this thing that you're trying to do. The frustration is that something's not right, something's not working, there's tension there, there's some kind of resistance there. And if you're feeling frustrated because you just want this person to spend more time with you, or you just want this person to show you that they love you, or if they would just change, if they would just do this, no, stop that. And this is the perfect time to realize that person is not going to change. You're so frustrated because you've been trying so hard, and waiting so hard, or trying to pump them up and help them out and help them through this, or just saying, oh, they're going through a hard time and they're going to change and it's going to be like it was in the beginning. You got to stop the wishful thinking. Stop the wishful thinking. Are you investing in someone who's showing you that you're meaningless to them, that you don't mean anything, you don't really matter, and they might be talking up a good storm, telling you everything you want to hear, but what are they showing you with their actions? Are they showing up? Are they showing you respect? Are they acting with kindness, love, and respect all the time? I don't mean people don't make a mistake now and then, but if this person is flip-flopping back and forth between overblown attention and flattery and giving and telling you what they think you want to hear and do and feel, and then back and forth to the abuse and showing you that you don't matter and they don't care about you, or doing super creepy kind of stalker kind of things, because I keep hearing a lot about this lately. I'm getting a lot of messages from you guys about that. If that's the case, you need to take note of that and recognize that's not a healthy investment of your time and energy. And something that I want to put out there, make it really clear to you guys, okay? You guys who are frustrated because you're trying to get this person to care about you, you're trying to get this person to show you that you matter, stop and reevaluate. What are you trying to do? Is it really about that person? No, it's about you. It's about you believing that that person has to show you that you matter in order for you to matter. What you need to do is separate that person's opinion and approval from reality. Okay, that person's opinion and approval might have nothing to do with reality. And if that person is showing you that you don't matter and you're not important to them and you're just meaningless to them, that is not a person you want to have in your life. Not as a friend, not as a lover, not as a fuck buddy, not as a best friend, not as a relationship, not as anyone that you're giving time and energy and importance to, because that person doesn't care about you. And this is the perfect time to get real clear with yourself that just because that person doesn't value you, and just because that person thinks you don't matter, and that person is showing you that you don't mean anything to them, doesn't mean that you don't matter, because you do matter. You're just hanging out with the wrong people. And this is the perfect time to recognize that. To recognize that frustration and that anger is trying to tell you something. The anger means that someone crossed a boundary, someone violated a limit. You know, maybe it was something that happened in the past that you're still thinking about because you still haven't resolved that. And this is the perfect time to resolve that, you know, by showing yourself that you matter, by investing your time and energy in things that are positive and benefiting you, and in people who show you that you matter and you're important to them. Because if you're investing your energy and time into people that aren't showing you that you matter and that you're important, you're going to feel like crap about yourself, and you're going to start to believe what they're showing you. You're going to start to believe that you don't matter. You're going to start to believe that you aren't important to them. You're going to start to believe that you're meaningless. And you need to separate yourself from that, because that is not a healthy reality. That is not going to move you forward in a positive way. So take advantage of this Mars in retrograde time to really get clear about yourself, about your energy, about how you value yourself and where you're putting your energy, how you're spending your time, not just with the people that you're hanging out with or talking to on the phone or chatting with or whatever, but also how you're thinking, where your thoughts are going. Are your thoughts always going to the same people showing you that you don't matter? Or are your thoughts going to these situations that are just sucking the life force out of you? You know, that's a sign that something's not right and you need to take different steps. Mars retrograde time is really a perfect time for like the reconstruction of the ego mind, right? Your self-identity, how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself, you know, that sort of thing, how you show up in the world, right? And this is an excellent time to focus on what really matters to you and to take little action in terms of boundaries, for example, right? Because the ego needs boundaries. The ego is a boundary. It's a separation. It's I am separate from you, which is half of the truth, right? Because we are all interconnected. And, you know, the ego allows us to remain separate. We lose track of the ego, then we become schizophrenic, right? We can't tell the difference between me and you and someone else and my thoughts and your thoughts and the government's thoughts, right? So the ego is an important part of human consciousness. It's just that you need to tame the ego, right? To not let it run out of control, to not let it run amok, to make sure that the ego is checking in with the heart. So this is a really good time to check in and make sure that your ego and your heart are aligned. And it's a really great time to look at the boundaries in your life. Are you protecting what you value? Are you protecting who you are? Are you protecting your needs, your feelings, your perceptions of reality, your dreams, your hopes for the future? Are you protecting that? This is a great time to really focus on those boundaries, especially with the no contact. You know, if you have gotten rid of that ex from your life and you are days or weeks or months or even years away from that, do not let this period of time pull you back there. Don't break the no contact, because quite likely you're going to be getting a contact from someone from the past during these 2 months, if you haven't already during the last week or so. So be mindful of that. It's a great time to reevaluate how you're doing with the no contact, how you're doing with your boundaries. You know, if you're parenting, if you're co-parenting with a narcissist, psychopath, sociopath, borderline, then, you know, you can't entirely cut off contact, but you need to mitigate those boundaries very well and be clear that your communication only has to do with the child or the children. It has nothing to do with your personal life. Don't share your personal life with them. Don't share your happiness or your sadness. Don't share your needs. Don't share your feelings. Don't share your hopes and dreams for the future. That person does not deserve to be part of your life like that. If this is a coworker, a boss, a business partner, again, the only communication you have is about work. You're going to protect everything personal about you. So use this time wisely. Focus on these things, the reconstruction of ego, aligning the ego with the heart, deciding and focusing and investing in what really matters, and be very clear about your boundaries. So right now, willpower is low. That get up and go drive is kind of low. It's not the time to take major action forward. It's the perfect time to reflect on where you've been, to reflect on what's going on what happened, to reflect on what you really want and where you really want to invest your energy, and get really clear about your plans, you know, and when you're super clear about that and you're reevaluating your willpower and how you're investing that, taking this time during these 2 months and getting ready to take major action forward then once early July comes, you know, investing it in healthy things. And if you were investing right now in unhealthy people and unhealthy situations and all this toxicity, you know, if you don't already experience it over the next couple months, by the time Mars moves direct at the beginning of July, it's going to be like a smack in the face, like running into a wall, because you have put all your time and energy into a toxic, unhealthy relationship or situation that is sucking the life force out of you. You're going to be flatlined come early July. So you want to be very cautious about that right now. That's why I wanted to put this out there for you. If you are curious about what's going on astrologically, I really recommend you get on YouTube and look up your favorite astrologer. You know, Google Mars Retrograde 2016. You'll get some insights. Some people even put up different videos based on your sun sign. That's also helpful too. You might get some really great insights from that and see some things into yourself that you weren't noticing, and to be able to use this time to your advantage. So I just wanted to put that out there for you. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you guys soon. Sending you all a big hug.